Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Breakdown Podcast. Yes, I know we missed a few weeks here, had a baby, had some work things, and all kinds of summer-related activities come up, but we're back again. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for staying subscribed. We really appreciate it. Hope to get back to weekly Breakdown Podcasts right now, breaking down the news, talking about different things that interest me, and a whole lot more. It's going to be a busy month, August. Hey, I just had a baby. Very excited about that. I'll chat about that in a minute. Football season's almost here, and we're racing to get everything done. Plus, in my home, we're going to start homeschooling my 8-year-old as she enters 3rd grade. We've made a decision just to go full on homeschooling, and I think it's going to be a good fit for us. I'll talk a little bit about that too, maybe. Love to hear if you are a parent, if you change the way you're going to be schooling your kids with everything happening. Before we get into all that, hey, if you're new here or if you watch this on YouTube, we do have this podcast available as an audio-only podcast over on tons of different platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more. I'll put a link to all of them down below where you can find locations for that, or just search for the Breakdown with Luke podcast. Also, if you're new here, you're just finding us on YouTube or wherever, hit that subscribe button. We would really appreciate your support and help us grow this channel. We do so much content out here. We're going to be talking a lot about the future of this channel, how everything's going, and about my other YouTube channels. So check those out. But hopefully you enjoy this. Hopefully we can help you learn something new. All right, so baby update. If you're watching this on the video, I'll probably have a little image of him up here. Adam Henry Bauma is here, very healthy, doing very well. Mama is doing well too. Kind of after 8+ years, it's kind of a little reawakening how much work babies are, but we're really loving having him as a part of our family. He came about 9 days early. It was kind of a little bit of a shock. Weren't quite 100% ready, but we were ready enough that everything went well. Mom did great. Baby did great. Came very quickly. Kind of get that little nudge at 1:45 in the morning. And by 8:30, baby was here. He raced into the hospital as a big storm was coming in, watching it in the distance, saying, just let me get to the hospital before the rain starts. Was my goal. Like, I want to make it to the hospital. I want to beat this. And I was kind of shocked. There are a lot of babies happening. Now, we all joked about the COVID baby boom. Now, it seems like it's actually happening. Now, one of the largest hospital chains in Michigan, Spectrum here, announced that, or told us when we were there, that they've had more babies so far in 2021 than all of 2020. They had 24 rooms dedicated for labor and delivery. When we were there, 20 of them were full. They said that typically they have 2 on-call doctors for labor and delivery. Last month in June, they upped that to be 3 full-time doctors always on call at any given moment for labor and delivery. Now, there was a lot of talk early in the pandemic that there wasn't the baby boom we expected. It seems like that was right, but coming late in 2020, the baby boom happened. I think a few things happened there. The initial stress of the pandemic really delayed a lot of that, the doctor was saying. And I think about it, late last year, people were starting to get back out, things going on dates again, getting out, getting active, and that seems to have led to babies. So starting kind of in the second quarter of 2021, a lot of babies being born. Now in the third quarter, a whole lot of babies are being born. It's kind of crazy out there how many are really coming. It'll be interesting to see how many more babies are born this year versus 2020. Now take all this with a grain of salt because 2020 was a record low year for births. I believe if I read the numbers correctly, it was something around the for per 1,000 women, only 53.9 births out in the United States last year. That's down substantially from the 57.6 annual per 1,000 in the last quarter of 2019, and well below what we saw when the birth rate peaked around 2007 in the United States. We've kind of struggled economically. I think it's a big part of that and a whole lot more. But it does seem to be coming back. It'd be interesting to see, living through something like a big pandemic kind of changes how people view things, and maybe that can translate into more births. We'll be very interested to see how this goes. Do you know a lot of people who are having babies right now? I know in my family, I have 2 other cousins that are due with babies this month, and it turns out, looking at the numbers, that third quarter of any year is on average the year with the most number of babies born. Coming on that, So let me know if it falls into with you at all. Are you a third quarter baby? Did you have a third quarter baby? Leave me a comment. Let me know. I will say, though, that having baby number 2 in a civilian hospital was worlds different. So much better. So my first daughter was born on a U.S. Army post and was a military brat. Both kids are technically military brats, but one was born in a civilian hospital, this most recent one. One was born in an Army hospital. Totally different levels of healthcare between government-run and civilian. For example, in the government-run one, my wife shows up. They're like, yeah, you're fully dilated. We're going to move you into the delivery room. And she was in heavy labor at the point. They're like, unfortunately, we don't have anyone here that's allowed to move the beds. It was late at night, and the staff who can move beds are gone. So the nurses weren't allowed to do it. So my wife had to walk from one side of the place to the hospital to the other. Not because they wanted her to, not because it helps with labor, though that can be true too, but because the people who were there weren't allowed to move the beds by the union rules. We had a lot of equipment broken. For example, the warming table kept not working. The hearing test wasn't functioning. We had to come back when they had a new machine come in to test her hearing and more. With my son, everything was great. Much better equipment, a lot more staff attention, all kinds of stuff. For example, in the military hospital, there was a TV in the room. We asked, hey, is there a remote for the TV in the room? And they kind of acted, well, we don't have enough. We kind of have to see if there's any empty rooms that actually have a remote for the TV. Just little things like that. Just the fact that there wasn't a cafeteria that's open at all times and more. So, but just so much happier. Thank you, everybody at Spectrum Health. The babies are good. Mom is doing good. And the quality of the delivery process, the quality of the hospital, so much better. When my daughter was born, for example, here's a story that gives you a good idea of government versus civilian. She had a dimple above her butt cheeks that prevents you from seeing where the spinal cord attaches or should attach or not attach to the pelvic area and all that fun stuff. And with my daughter having that dimple there, which is a genetic thing, some kids get, some kids don't, it prevents them from being able to properly see if the spinal cord is properly aligned and properly attached and all that fun stuff. And when we were at the military hospital and seeing the military doctors, they said, well, we would love to do an ultrasound, but we are not allowed to. They won't pay for that. So when she turns 2, if she's struggling to walk, then we will be allowed to get a test on that. We switched over to a civilian doctor after we left because you have the ability to go either standard, where you pay some money and can go off post and go to a civilian doctor, or you can get Prime, which they've changed the names a little bit, and you got to go to the government appointed doctor for you. Cheaper for them. They really want you on Prime because they save a lot of money. Well, we went to the civilian doctor, and that doctor was like, oh, no, we're getting an ultrasound tomorrow. We're going to check this out. We want to make sure there's no issues. If there's an issue, we can take care of that right now. Thankfully, everything was fine. Baby was fine. But total difference in the care level between a civilian doctor who's like, yeah, we're going to test this right now, and a government doctor who was like, well, we would love to, but they won't pay for it, so you're going to have to wait to see if there's any issues walking when they turn 2. Thankfully, that is no longer a problem for us because we're going to civilian doctors now. So there you go, a little update on how my babies are doing, how my daughter and son and wife and everybody, we're all doing great. Thank you so much for the kind words and comments. Thank you for your patience on getting back to the podcast. Now let's talk about the YouTube channel. So you've noticed that we've been doing a lot more videos both here and on the video game channel. Over the last 28 days, we've seen about 500 new subscribers between the two channels. Thank you to everybody who subscribed. We really do appreciate it. It seems like people are really enjoying the content over on the gaming channel and on the breakdown. We're going to be doing a few different things here on the breakdown channel I wanted to talk about. One is continuing with the podcast. I intend to try to get this back to being a weekly podcast. I'm very excited to be doing that. We'll see how it all comes together. Now, with this, it does mean that we got some upcoming new videos. Now, I intend to do some more travel videos. Now, if you watched us last year, you know I did a couple travel videos. I intended to do a lot more of experience videos, getting out there and exploring the different areas and taking a look at things happening around me. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, a lot of that got put on hold and didn't do some of the stuff I wanted to do before we moved. But there are some really cool things up here in Michigan I want to explore and take you along with. And much like the road trip videos I did last year during the pandemic, I was thinking of doing some similar ones this year. I'd love to know what you think of that, and I'd love to know what you would like me to explore and do. I do intend to do much more videos breaking down big new products whenever new technology things are announced, kind of doing the Everything We Know series, breaking it down, letting you know what the new technologies are, and doing more reviews of different things, more product reviews, more service reviews, and more tip videos. We'll keep a very close eye on that. Now with the gaming channel, we're going to continue to go out there and do videos about new games coming out, gaming news, maybe some retrospective, look back at older game franchises that I love and enjoy, do a lot of that. Now for the podcast, we're going to continue to do a show like this where we break down a lot of different news things, but I talk a lot about what's happening, my opinion on different news stories like the baby boom from COVID, as we had a little break there, but also about a lot of technology, a lot of stories that we've done in the podcast in the past. We'll keep moving forward that. And talking to somebody about being a co-host, we'll see. Now, a lot of people have been asking for live streams. Now, YouTube is kind of strange. It actually kind of penalizes people for doing too many live streams on YouTube. It doesn't seem to like it. And if you do a lot of research, you just do some searching on it, you'll find a lot of people talk about live streaming negatively affecting the overall traffic to their channel. And there's a lot of reasons to it. Percentage views is a big part. When people don't watch a full percentage of a show, it hurts them. And a lot of people rarely watch the full percentage of a show on YouTube. So with a channel like this that's primarily focused on pre-produced content, having a ton of live content there may not be the greatest idea. Are considering doing Twitch and live streaming over on Twitch. I know a lot of people do that where they do their live streaming on Twitch. They don't have to worry about negatively impacting YouTube here. Let me know, are you on Twitch? I do have a Twitch channel, Luke BK, over on Twitch. And we may be doing live streaming over there to help avoid any negative impacts of live streaming here on YouTube over on by doing it over on Twitch. So keep that in mind. And let me know, what kind of live streaming shows would you like? What would you like to see? Would you like us to just chat about the news? Would you like us to do a talk radio style? Like see me play, join me as I play some video games and chat. Leave me a comment, let me know. I'll love to hear from you. And after that crazy long intro, let's get into some of the news of the day I wanted to break down, because there's a lot happening right now out there. Starting off with one of the things I think is most 2020, 2021, Pepsi is launching some Mountain Dew branded alcohol drinks in 2022. Yes, if you're a Mountain Dew fan, soon you're going to be able to get your Mountain Dew with some alcohol in it. Details are still kind of thin on exactly what they're going to be launching, but they're going to call it Hard Mountain Dew with an alcohol content of 5%, so it'll be a pretty strong drink. They're not crazy though, and it will be for the adult drinkers. Now, interesting here, it'll be kind of interesting to see what the regulators say. They've always kind of pushed back against anything that targets kids also targeting an alcohol thing. Having Mountain Dew with alcohol in it should be interesting. No, there's precedent. There's Jack and Coke and all kinds of other things out there. But Pepsi's betting big that they can offset some of the decline in sales, and we can get back to normal for Pepsi by selling alcohol under the Mountain Dew brand. Now, Pepsi is doing other things to try to kind of outlive this changing world as people are changing their taste. Now, this happens a lot. We often talk about the good old days. Why aren't food made this way or that way? Well, a lot of it's you and me changing the way we buy and shop and drink. And one of the big things is we've moved towards healthier options in different areas. And to help Pepsi kind of deal with the ever-changing area, one of the things they're doing is selling some brands. And one of them was kind of a shock to some people. Tropicana, the popular orange juice brand, which Pepsi bought back in 1998 for roughly $3.3 billion, is being sold again for $3.3 billion. Not only is Tropicana being sold, but Naked Juice, the popular brand of high-end juices that was also included in this sale. When people are moving to more healthy drinks, it's kind of interesting to see them move that way, but Pepsi seems to be more focusing on their food, on still a lot of the sugary, and now on alcohol. It'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. Now, AIs have become more and more powerful, and now the Pentagon believes that they have a predictive AI that can predict events days in advance. It takes news and all kinds of different information points out there to try to predict what other countries and other militaries will be doing, that this machine learning can help military planners try to anticipate things they wouldn't expect. Now, this is not unusual. We've been doing things like this in chip design and all kinds of different things out there. But what is unusual is how much effort and money is being put into it. Be interested to see how accurate it really is. Once things really kind of get down to it, once you're in a major military crisis, will this actually be able to get out there and predict days in advance what other militaries will be doing? If so, even if you can get with a 60% chance of, hey, there's some movements here, there's a 40% chance it could do this, this, and this, that's actually powerful. You can really improve the quality of your military if you can improve an idea what they're doing. Human factors, you always have that human intuition, which has been very helpful, but that's a guess. And even just having some information out there to say, hey, there is possibilities of X, Y, Z happening that could result in this or that, it gives you more information. I actually think this is really interesting. It will use satellite imagery and all kinds of other sources of information to try to analyze movements and predict what is happening next. We'll see if it really does happen or not. Now, jumping forward to another story. Have you noticed it's really hot right now, but it seems that we may be having an early fall. Now, a little prediction. I don't know if you've noticed this, but my kind of keeping an eye out there, a lot of signs here in Michigan of a possible early fall, including some trees up here already changing color and a lot of birds starting to fly in V formations practicing heading south. Way earlier than I typically see that here in this part of Michigan. Have you noticed any changes, anything that kind of makes you look and say, hey, there could be a early fall? I know we got a very hot August. It always seems that there's a very hot August before a very early fall. Last year we had a very late fall here in Michigan. I don't know. Leave me a comment. Have you noticed any early changes for possible pointing to fall wherever you may be? All right, did you use Google Plus? Well, you may be able now claim part of your class action lawsuit. Yes, Google has agreed to pay out as part of a class action lawsuit that comes from it killing off Google Plus and Google Plus as a total. The good news is you're eligible for $2.15 out there thanks to this class action lawsuit. I'm sure the lawyers did a lot better than that. But leave me a comment. Let me know. Were you a Google Plus user? I remember when it came out, a lot of people wanted me to go to it. I was kind of a little hesitant on it. Never really got into it. Now I'm kind of glad I didn't. Kind of stuck to my initial gut reaction with it. Hey, if you use Amazon, right now they have a smart soap dispenser out there, brand new. Yes, you can get an Alexa-powered smart soap dispenser. It's a battery-powered, touchless soap dispenser that does all kinds of different things. It's great for kids. It really is pushing the idea that it will allow it to do routines to kind of help you learn how long to wash your hands for, whether playing music or playing lights that count down to show that to you. The soap dispenser costs about $55 and will reportedly be able to run for several months off a single charge. Now, it does not have a speaker, it does not have a microphone. It seems to be targeting the idea that this is a soap dispenser that can have your kids wash your hands or help you wash your hands the adequate amount of time. Because let's be honest, I think a lot of people, and I probably have done this too, don't wash your hands long enough that we're supposed to. And now this will help you wash it for as long as you need to. Rather count down lights, pair with an Echo speaker to play music, start different routines, and more. We'll see what happens with that. All right, last story up of the day, Walmart to pay for college tuition. Yes, if you are a full-time or part-time student at Walmart, you will be able to get debt-free college. And according to Walmart, they've expanded this. Now, it used to be part of a $1 per day college tuition deal where you paid basically $1 to get free college tuition, free books. Now, Walmart is offering, if you work at Walmart, you can get your college degree and your books paid for if you go for several different types of college degrees, including degrees in business, leadership, and management. So basically, Walmart's kind of saying, hey, if you go to a field that we can kind of use will pay for it, which is good. At Walmart, like many companies, likes to hire from within. They have a long tradition of hiring floor staff to move up into management. More people with college degrees makes that possible. Now, you won't be able to just go to any university. They do have quite a few to pick from, including Purdue, University of Global, Penn Foster, Bradman University, Southern New Hampshire, Wilmington, and a couple others out there. I apologize. I don't have the full list of others. I believe they include the University of Arizona, University of Denver, and a few others out there. So keep that in mind. You're kind of limited, but this is a really great way to get a college degree for free with your books. Now, according to Walmart, 8,000 employees last year earned a degree. So these were employees that started this last year and finished, which probably meant they already were in the process of getting a degree and they finished it. 52,000 last year associates participated in the program, 8,000 earned a degree. Nearly 28,000 associates are currently active in the program, which is a pretty nice deal there. Again, full-time or part-time associates are eligible for this program. Check it out. So if you have somebody who's thinking about going to college and already wants a degree in one of these, is thinking, a lot of these seem to be online degrees, it's been thinking about doing that, go to work for Walmart for a few years. Get it paid off. You know, it used to be if you wanted a free college degree, you had to join the Army or the Air Force or the Navy. Now you can go work for Walmart. Well, let me tell you, as somebody who's a military spouse, working at Walmart is probably a lot more freedom than working for the Army. And once you sign up for the Army, they can tell you how to cut your hair. They can tell you where you can go, where you're going to live, and what you're going to wear. Walmart's a little bit better deal. I won't lie on that. So check that out. If you Google it, it's called the Walmart tuition program, debt-free college if you work for Walmart. And Walmart is really doing this because they're hoping that a good number of these people who get the degree from Walmart will be interested in moving up into management positions at Walmart, and they can hire from that pool of people who already know the Walmart system and culture and more. So there you go. There is the podcast for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear from you. One thing I mentioned earlier I was going to talk about, maybe I'll dive into real quick, homeschooling. Yes, we are very excited to be homeschooling our daughter. One of the big reasons we've kind of decided to do it is the flexibility of it. We also thought it would be very good. She's very good at a few subjects. She struggles in others. The ability to better tailor her education to what she does here, I think will be really good for her. I really hope that we're able to keep the same level, but we're going to be doing it kind of different. We're not actually going to be teaching her. We're going to use several different systems. There are systems here in our area where she can go one day a week and take a bunch of classes, and then we fill in the blanks the rest of the week in those courses. And then we have online video classes and interactive classes. And I'm really excited about the interactive ones, example for math. The ability for our daughter to take an online class where she'll study math on it, and then, do the tests, do the quizzes, and more. If she passes, she moves forward. If she fails the quizzes or tests, she rolls back and redoes that section of the lesson to relearn it until she can pass through the quizzes and more. It's very interactive. It's done on a tablet, a phone, or a computer. It can be done on all those. But I really like the ability of it to go and teach her at her own pace without mom and dad having to stand in front of her. We act more like principals, like graders, and like tutors versus standing in front of her like a teacher and telling her. Other people can be teachers, will be more administrative. It gives us a lot more flexibility to do things, to be where we want to be and do what we want to do, and to teach her at her level. Something that I didn't think we got very well. Our school down in Texas was so amazing, maybe that kind of spoiled us, but now we're out here looking for different ways to do this. And this seems to be the best one. Long gone are the days of homeschooling where you as parents have to do everything out of a book. Nowadays, there's video lessons you can watch. There's videos out there, classes, interactive video classes, and schools where the kids basically go one day a week, and then assignments are assigned throughout the rest of the week that you just do throughout the week as parents with the kids, offering a lot more flexibility, and the customizing of it, I think, will be very good for her. I don't know. Have you thought with all the rules and changes out there right now, have you thought about making any changes to how you are educating your kids? Leave me a comment. Let me know. Have you thought about homeschool? I've definitely thought about it a lot. All right, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. We'll be back with another video this week. Thanks for your support. I really appreciate it.